Hello! In this video, I will be speaking about reactivity versus responding to a situation. And the main thing that you need to know is that when you are reacting to any given situation, you are giving up your control and your power to everything and everyone externally. And the opposite is true when you are responding to a situation, then you are in control. And so this is where we want to be. My name is Vanessa. I'm a healer, a lightworker, and I'm here to help you. There are many different reasons why we react instead of respond to a situation. And I'm going to get into all of those reasons. But the two main things that we need to remember is that, one, that we are being triggered. There is something inside of us. This is an internal problem. So when you are suddenly having a change of emotions due to something that's happening externally, whether it's something that someone said or didn't do or did do, this is not about them. This is about you. There is something that this is touching, a wound, some self-confidence or unworthiness that you have inside of you that is being triggered. And the second thing that we need to know is that we need to stop taking things personally, because we oftentimes take everything so personal when everyone else is living their own life. They are not thinking about what you were thinking. There's no way they could know what you're thinking. And it isn't their responsibility to watch out for your emotions or to behave in a way that is not going to trigger you or upset you or even offend you. It is just not their responsibility. It is your responsibility to understand emotional intelligence and to learn how to respond instead of react. And it almost sounds like I have this picture, from the Lego movie, Lego Cop, Good Cop, Bad Cop, where the head spins and it's a good cop, and it says, it's not your fault. You were never taught how to deal with your emotions. And then the bad cop head spins and it says, but this is your problem. You have to get together and get control of your emotions. And it's true, because I'm feeling both things. I totally understand that we are not taught how to deal with our emotions. We are not taught about wounds that we have, emotional wounds and triggers. Many of us have just started to hear about these words, these terms for the first time, triggers and emotional wounds. We just aren't taught this information. So do give yourself a little bit of a break on that. But from here on out, understand that it is your responsibility, that you are the only one that can fix this and who can take control of your life, because we don't want to be the puppet strings just being pulled by everyone around us. We want to get to the point where we are not internally affected, or we are very little affected, only a little bit, by other people. So what happens now is, once you start working on this, and someone can come up to you and they can be really emotional, they can be angry at you. This happened to me recently. And what happens is you automatically, once you start practicing, you feel the rise of emotion. You feel energy coming from them, and you feel yourself all of a sudden being consumed by the energy that they are bringing. And what many of us are tempted to do is match that, right? Because now we're feeling the energy that they're giving, our wounds are triggered. But when we have awareness about what is actually happening, we can just say, oh wow, we observe it. So what I did in this situation was I said, wow, to myself. The person is standing there angry. This is all happening in microseconds, mind you. I'm observing this powerful energy that now I am feeling, and I understand what's happening. So I am just trying to ask questions from the person. What is really happening here? What is the actual problem? Because we can get so caught up in the energy that the person is giving us that we don't even know what we're just, yeah, you're giving this to me? Well, here, I'll give it right back to you. And we don't understand that we don't have to do that. We can actually step outside and keep our own same energy and just respond to this person and see what it is that we can do to alleviate or correct the situation. So awareness is number one. nothing is personal. Okay, so when someone says something to you, or does something or doesn't do anything, it is about that person. Okay, we have to understand that we are all humans. Okay, we are human beings and we are flawed. We have a million thoughts going through our head. We all have stressors. We all have bills. We all have responsibilities, and we all get tired and hungry and confused, and we often, most of us, have a lack of a support system. So, what are we expecting, honestly, of our other human beings? People are going to be rude sometimes. People are going to be lazy sometimes. People are going to be all kinds of things. And that's not for you to worry about what other people are doing. It's to worry about what you are doing. But also to keep in mind that as humans, we need to give each other a little bit of a break and understand that it isn't other people's responsibility to not say things that are going to upset us or do things that are going to upset us. It's our responsibility to be able to handle our emotions, and that is emotional intelligence. So there are lots of things that we can do. How can we help ourselves to do this? So the first thing is awareness. Be aware that our emotions are something that we can observe and really separate ourselves from and learn how to gain control of, and that things are not personal, right? Everyone has their own stuff going on. And so, like I was saying before, we are triggered. So you need to bring awareness to when you get triggered. This is the perfect time for you to learn something about yourself. Really ask yourself, why am I upset right now? What am I feeling? What is the root feeling that I'm feeling? A lot of times when someone says something to you and you're reacting strongly, negatively, it is because you are battling internally with not feeling worthy of respect, maybe feeling out of control over your life, maybe feeling disrespected. So you have to understand that if you are holding that for yourself, if you know that you're worthy, you are worthy of respect, you are worthy of love, you're worthy of everything, right? And then someone says something to you, it isn't going to hit you. It isn't going to hit home because you are loving yourself enough. You're respecting yourself enough. Your worthiness is covered by you. So when someone else says something to you, it isn't going to cause you might just be able to come to a place like where I am now, where I can just be aware that this person is dealing with their own thing over here. I'm over here. I don't have to get involved in it. I don't. So we have to go in and we have to figure out what it is that this trigger is telling us. And then we need to fix it. So if you realize that, wow, you don't respect yourself, you might get down to the actual root of the problem, and is that you don't respect yourself. So anytime someone says any of the slightest thing that you are interpreting as disrespect, or maybe they are disrespecting you, but it's hurting so much, it's triggering you so much because this is your own internal battle that you're dealing with. You have to begin to do things that respect yourself. Your actions and your thoughts need to be that of a person who respects themselves. And go in and heal your old wounds. So one of the helpful questions that you can ask yourself once you identify the feeling, right? Say it's that disrespect, I feel disrespected. When was the first time you felt disrespected? And I have a video called Inner Childwork. You can go in and do the inner child work, because if we don't get rid of some of these triggers, if we don't lower the potency of these triggers, then it's really, really hard, because once this emotion, this rush of emotion comes up, and you all know what I'm talking about, it's really hard to control it. You might have to wait till after it happens to then go back and analyze it. But the more that you heal these wounds and you yourself feel whole and worthy, and you love yourself and you respect yourself, the less that you are going to be triggered, and the more that you can actually feel the emotion starting to rise. For me, I can feel it, and once it gets to about here, to my chest level, I've already gained control of it, and I can say, whoa, wow, hi energy, how are you doing? And I can I don't allow it to change my behavior or to change my thoughts. I actually just feel the energy in my body, and I just let it be there. So we have to get to a place where we are feeling good about ourselves, And the other thing that I see happening all the time when their emotions are really escalating depending on external circumstances is that you do not trust yourself. You do not trust yourself to get through tough decisions. You do not trust yourself that you are able to navigate and handle change. So we need to go in and work on all of these things. And this is kind of a lot of things that I've named. But if we want to take our power back and be able to control the outcome of our day ourselves, because we do not want to be having strings. We don't want to be puppets where people are pulling our emotions around and our days and our lives are dependent on what happens, what other people do. That is no way to live, and you do not have to live that way. So we really need to go inward to the deepest essence of ourselves and connect to ourselves. We need to reflect. We need to meditate. Okay, meditation really just means connecting to your inner self, and we do this through silence, through meditation, through just being super mindful of being in the present moment. And the last thing that we need to do here, and this ties into not taking it personal, is ask ourselves, what is the meaning that we've just given this situation? Someone just said something to you, right? Or did or didn't do something. And now you're all emotional and you're feeling this. Really examine the beliefs, write it down. What does this mean? What am I giving meaning to this? And then a lot of times if we do that and we write down the meaning that we've just given to it, I'm disrespected, or whatever the meaning is, we can really begin to see and have awareness that this is not the truth. This is just the meaning that we gave it. And actually we could give it a different meaning if we wanted to. So I really encourage you, do not be a puppet on strings where your days and your life is dependent on other people. You are the master controller of your life, and the more that you learn about emotional intelligence, about the energy of emotions, about inner child work, and about triggers, and the more you connect to yourself and to your own self-worth, you are worthy, you are lovable, you are deserving of respect. You do not have to do anything to earn these things. This is your birthright. But it is just you who has to wake up to this reality. So I love you so much. I wish you luck, and I will connect with you soon. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe and the bell, and I just hope you have a really good day. Thank you.